Chapter 3, The Sultanate Period. Warm up. The Delhi Sultanate, Slave Dynasty, the Sayyid Dynasty, the Khilji Dynasty, the Lodi Dynasty, the Tughlaq Dynasty, Decline of the Sultanate. The Tomars founded Dilika or Delhi in 8th century. It came to prominence under Prithviraj Chauhan both as capital and trade town. It attained further glory during the Sultanate period. The Sultanate period lasted from 1206 to 1526 AD, during which 5 dynasties ruled Delhi. Example, the Slave, the Khilji, the Tughlaq, the Sayyid and the Lodi dynasties. The Delhi Sultanate, Slave Dynasty 1206 to 1290, Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, Samsuddin Iltutmish, Ruknuddin Firoz Shah, Razia Sultan, Nasaruddin Muhammad, Gitasuddin. Khilji Dynasty 1290 to 1320, Jalaluddin Firoz Khilji, Alauddin Khilji, Khusrau Malik. Tughlaq Dynasty 1320 to 1414, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Jughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Sayyid Dynasty 1414 to 1451, Khazir Khan Sayyid, Mubarak Shah Sayyid, Muhammad Shah Sayyid, Al-ud-Din Alam Shah Sayyid. Lodi Dynasty 1451 to 1526, Behlol Lodi, Sikandar Lodi, Ibrahim Lodi. The Slave Dynasty. This dynasty is called the Slave or Mamluk Dynasty because its 3 army sultans themselves were slaves. Iltutmish and Balban were slave of Qutb-ud-Din, who himself was the trusted slave general of Muhammad Ghori. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak 1206 to 1. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak was the founder of Slave Dynasty, also called Mamluk Dynasty. They were called slave kings because the 3 sultans of the dynasty were themselves slaves who had risen to power due to their merit, skills and abilities. Except Aibak, all other sultans of this dynasty belonged to the Albari tribe of Turk. Aibak ruled for 4 years only. He was a generous ruler and gave large sums of money to both the Hindus and the Muslims, for which he earned the title of Lal Bakhsh. Samsuddin Iltutmish 1210 to 1236 AD. Iltutmish, also a slave, succeeded Qutb-ud-Din. He is regarded as the real architect of the Muslim rule in India. He suppressed revolts and consolidated his empire. He also saved his kingdom from the wrath of Mongol invader Genghis Khan. In 1229 AD, the Caliph of Baghdad bestowed the title of Sultan of Hindustan on Iltutmish. Iltutmish organized his government and made several reforms. He organized the Chalisa, the 40 noble or the ruling Ali. He also introduced coin currencies, silver coins called Tanka and copper coins called Jitel. These coins were used throughout the Sultanate period. Razia Sultanate 1236 to 1239 AD. Iltutmish had many sons, but he decided that his daughter Razia would succeed him. Razia was the first and the last woman Muslim ruler of the medieval world. She ruled efficiently through for a short period of 4 years only. Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban 1236 to 1239 AD. Razia's successors were weak rulers. Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban was a loyal slave of Iltutmish and a member of the Chalisa. He ruled for 20 years. He is known for his policy of blood and iron. He crushed the power of the Chalisa and defeated his kingdom from the Mongol invasion. He encouraged the people to do sajda and paibos. Thus, he made the power of the Sultanate absolute. The Khilji dynasty. The Khilji rulers ruled for 3 decades. He expanded the Sultanate further. The first ruler of the dynasty was Jalaluddin. Jalaluddin Khilji. Jalaluddin was the founder of the Khilji dynasty. He was very old when he became the king. He could not rule for a long time. His nephew Alauddin Khilji murdered him and became the ruler in 1296 AD. Al-Uddin Khilji 1296 to 1316 AD. Al-Uddin Khilji was a great military genius. He found a policy of defense against the Mongol invasion. Next, he adopted the policy of expansion. He conquered the kingdoms of Gujarat, Malwa and Rajasthan. He had heard of beauty of Queen Padmini, wife of Rana Rat Singh of Chittor. So he attracted Chittor and defeated the Rajputs. Queen Padmini and other Rajput women performed Juhar. Having conquered North India, Alauddin sent his army, led by his general Malik Kafur, to conquer South India. The Yadavas of Devgiri, Kakatiyas of Varlinga and Hoysa of Dwarsmudra were defeated and accepted the supremacy of Al-Uddin. He realized the king on payment of tribute to him as an able and efficient administrator. Al-Uddin took several measures for the consolidation of his empire. He also took strict measures to prevent rebellion among his nobles and officers. In the field of revenue system, he made several reforms and introduced various taxes. Example, Zia and Zakat. He also began the market control system and introduced an efficient postal system to have contract to communicate with distant part of his empire. After Alauddin's death, Khilji dynasty could survive longer in 1320. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq captured the throne by killing the last ruler of the Khilji dynasty. Tughlaq dynasty. The Tughlaq dynasty ruled for about a century and was founded by Qitас-ud-Din Tughlaq. Two powerful sultans of this dynasty were Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq 1320 to 1325. Ghiyas-ud-Din, the first ruler of this dynasty, was an efficient, experienced administrator and an able military commander. He liberalized various harsh measures imposed by Alauddin Khilji and restored places in order in the kingdom. He built the fortified city of Tughlaqabad in Delhi. He died in an accident in 1325. After the untimely death of Ghiyas-ud-Din Tughlaq, his son Jona Khan ascended the throne under the name of Muhammad bin Tughlaq 1325 to 1351 AD. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a ruler as well as a scholar. He was interested in reasoning, astronomy, physical sciences and literature. He had a deep sense of justice and an open mind. Muhammad bin Tughlaq's empire included the Deccan, the southern states, Odisha, now Odisha, and Bengal. He administrated the Deccan and the South dynasty. We got to know about this region from the writings of Ibn Battuta, who visited India during this time. Shift of capital. He is remembered for his decision to shift the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, which he renamed Daulatabad. However, instead of just shifting the administration, he forced the entire population to shift. Many people died due to the difficult journey and the capital had to be shifted back to years later. Deccan currency. Another experiment that the Sultan introduced was that of Deccan currency. Deccan coins were made of copper and could be exchanged with gold and silver coins from treasury. However, people began forging the copper coins in large number of exchange. The token currency system was ultimately abandoned. Taxation in the Doab. To increase his revenue collection, the Sultan raised the land tax in the Doab region. However, the king's timing was not good. The dwarf was facing a severe famine during this period. To raise taxes at such a time was a mistake. Many peasants abandoned their land. Some of them revolted. Ultimately, the Sultan had to withdraw his order. When Muhammad bin Tughlaq died in 1351 CE, the empire was on the way to collapse. During his reign, many revolts has taken place in different areas. The size of empire was so big that he was unable to control it. Communication was also poor. Though the Sultan had a visionary outlook, he failed to ensure proper execution of his ideas. He was succeeded by his cousin Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, 1351-1382. Firoz Shah was a kind-hearted, peace-loving and just ruler. He adopted appeasement policies to gain support of the nobles, the army and the ulema. Firoz Shah Tughlaq's region is specially remembered for various public welfare schemes. He established new towns, educational centers and hospitals, etc. After the death of Firoz Shah, the governors of many provinces declared themselves independent kings. Finally, a small area around Delhi remained in the hand of the Tughlaq sultans. Case study: Tughlaqs. Let us study different aspects of the Tughlaq's rule. Sultan. The Sultan retained most of the powers with himself. However, he needed the support of the nobles, so he delegated powers to them and gave them land grants called alqutas. These alqutas were meant for collecting land revenue and maintaining army. As this made the noble quite powerful, they strove for more powers. They revolted whenever they perceived any weakness in the Sultan. This was the reason that the Tughlaqs had to face numerous revolts during their entire rule. Not only nobles but also the ulema proved troublesome for the Sultan. They wanted the Sultan to rule as per the Quranic laws. Firoz Shah Tughlaq introduced the Quranic Sharia laws in order to appease the ulema, but it was opposed by the common people. Court. The court of the Tughlaqs was very ceremonial in nature. The nobles had to do sajda. The Sultan sat on a throne kept on a platform. The nobles had fixed places to sit or stand. There were guards and other attendants at the command of the court. A scribe kept a record of all transactions, proceedings and commands of the court. Administration. The Tughlaqs had divided administration into four major departments: Diwan-e-Wizarat, Finance; Diwan-e-Risalat, Religious Matters; Diwan-e-Arz, Military Affairs; and Diwan-e-Ansha, Royal Correspondence. The nobles were given the charge of different departments. The Wazir of Chief Minister looked after revenues and general affairs of the Sultanates. He had many powers in his hand. The Qazi was the chief judge. He also advised the Sultan on religious matters. An appeal could be made to the Sultan against his judgment. The Bakshi was the paymaster of the army. The Ariz-e-Mumalik was the all-over in charge of the army who recruited, trained and equipped soldiers. He functioned directly under the Sultan. The Shayid dynasty. The Shayid Sultan ruled for a brief period. There were four Shayid kings. Khizr Khan Shayid, 1414 to 1421 AD. Khizr Khan was the governor of Multan under Firoz Shah Tughlaq. After the death of Firoz, he supposed a son of Firoz in the war of succession. When Taimur attacked India, he joined him. When Taimur left India, he appointed Khizr Khan as a governor of Multan, Lahore and Deepalpur. Khizr Khan conquered Delhi in 1414 and started the rule of the Shayid. Mubarak Shah Shayid, 1421 to 1434 AD. Mubarak Shah succeeded his father. He was a man of vision and could have revived the old glory of the Sultanate. The nobles, however, were against him. Most of his time was therefore spent in controlling his nobles. Muhammad Shah Shahid 1434 to 1443 AD. Muhammad Shah was Mubarak Shah's nephew. During his reign, the nobles became very powerful. Alauddin Alam Shah Shahid 1443 to 1451 AD. Alam Shah was the next ruler. He lost Delhi to Behlul Lodi in 1451 AD. With his, the brief rule of the Shahid kings come to an end. The Lodi dynasty. The Lodi dynasty had great achievements than the Tughlaqs and the Shahid. However, its history is full of conflicts. Up till now, all the rulers of the Sultanate were of Turkish origin. The Lodis, however, were Afghans. Alam Shah, the last Shahid ruler, voluntarily abducted throne in favor of Behlul Khan Lodi 1451 to 1489 AD. The first ruler was Behlul Khan Lodi. He tried to consolidate the fragmented Sultanate. He removed rebellious governors and appointed loyal Afghan nobles as governor of important provinces. At the time of his death, the Sultanate stretched from Punjab to Bihar. Do you know, Persian was the language of administration under the Delhi Sultanates. Sikandar Lodi 1489 to 1517 AD. The most powerful Lodi ruler was Behlul's son Sikandar Lodi. He annexed Jaunpur and Bihar and signed a treaty of friendship with the ruler of Bengal. He also initiated many public welfare measures. For example, agriculture was improved and efforts were made to keep the prices of essential commodities low. He established the city of Agra and made it his capital. Ibrahim Lodi 1517 to 1526 AD. Ibrahim Lodi succeeded Sikandar Lodi. The Afghan nobles rebelled against him. He, however, defeated him. To prevent such revolts in future, Ibrahim Lodi replaced senior nobles and governors who experienced a great deal of power by younger men. These nobles conspired with Babur, who overthrew Ibrahim Lodi in 1526 AD at the First Battle of Panipat. Decline of the Sultanate. The Sultanates were not very successful. Most of the rulers were very soft and weak, which led to the downfall of the empire. The reasons were many, such as the imposition of Jizya, a tax for non-Muslims, conversion of people to Islam, destruction of temples and other places of worship made the rulers unpopular. Many rulers were weak, which made the nobles assume powers. The succession war after the king died weakened the kingdom. The invasion of foreign rulers gave the fine blow to the empire. Many revolts led to the formation of independent kingdoms such as Vijayanagar and Bamini. Swimming up. The period between 1206 to 1526 CE is referred to as the period of Delhi Sultanate and medieval Indian history. The entry of Qutbuddin Aibak marked the beginning of Sultanate. Sultanate period includes 5 dynasties. They were Slave, the Tughlaqs, the Shahid, the Lodis and the Khiljis. Iltutmish was known as the architect of slave dynasty. Alauddin Khilji introduced practical and innovative economic reforms during his reign. Muhammad bin Tughlaq's experiments lacked prudence and ended in failure. After the Tughlaqs, the Shahids and the Lodis ruled for about a country. Ibrahim Lodi was the last of the Delhi Sultanates. Babur, the king of Kabul, defeated Lodi in AD 1526 and established Mughal rule in India.